Hey everyone, I'm Nay, and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be reviewing set 71832, Thunderfang Dragon of Chaos. This set released on March 1st and retails for $64.99 in the UK. This set contains 668 pieces and has 6 minifigures, but for now, let's get into the review. I'll start things off with the side build, being what contains Thunderfang, which has a chain attached here. I'll talk soon on what it does, but I want to have a quick look over how it looks first. Up top here, it has this nice tattered flag, which matches his wings, and it's kind of difficult to see here because of my lighting, but it does really beautifully blend the red and purple, and it has an angry face on it as well, which I think is Thunderfang, but I'm not 100% sure. And at the back, it has this transparent purple. On either side, it has these nice little barbs and this wooden staff, which is connected to the flag. Onto the play feature, though, what it can do is insert the first prismatic blade here, which loosens it a bit, and then you can insert the other, and you can easily remove the chain. Over on the back, there's a little box here, underneath this arch, and I don't know what this is for, but it could be interpreted as a place to put Thunderfang's extra stud shooters. Or you could store the prismatic blades here if you don't want to free them yet.
Cool. I'll go further into detail in a minute, but as far as I can tell, it is really nice. You can see it's got these chains all throughout it, which is just really nice. Overall, head to toe, apart from these chainy bits, he's entirely like red, black, and purple, and there is a little hint of tan throughout as well, which I like the consistency. It's just pretty much all throughout, that's the only thing. Due to it being bipedal, this one's foot is built pretty much like Gyro, I think his name is, from the Empress mech. If we go over it, it's got this nice little sticker here, which I really like the leopard type detail print, and there's the red claws at the front. If we rotate it, you can see it has got some exposed grey, but that's not really too bad in my opinion. I like the mixes of the purples here, and its foot is built on like an angle, as you can see here, which I think is very interesting. But yeah, on this side, got like a nice mix of red on here, and you can always like pose it like that, which is cool. But onto the posability, it's not capable of moving forwards and backwards. However, it is capable of doing like almost a 180 side to side, which is very cool.
The thighs, the bit connected to the feet here, has this little splash of purple, just so it's not a block of red. And I like the way that they blend the Technic axles in here at the back too. And overall, I really like the animalistic look of the legs, like hind leg type, with this like little Z shape to them.
You can see the Technic pins here, they're in black as well, but I think they do manage to blend it really well. Again, a little bit of exposed grey, but with the amount of tiny bits, it does seem to like add to it. It is like sandwiched here, and it is really smooth on the outside. Moving on to the like underbelly or whatever it is, you can see it is definitely starting to use more purple and that compared to red. This part here is very smooth overall, and then it's got like a sharp turn here. On the direct under, they're able to add this bit, which does ease into the tail, which I'll get to in a minute. If you look back here, you can see the way that the purple smooths around the leg, which I think is really nice. You can see there's a little hint of purple through the black as well, but I think they've really well managed to fade the red into the black and then that into the purple, which I think they've done really smoothly. Moving on to the tail for this type of dragon, I think it makes sense why it's so stubby, but I think it still manages to make it look really nice, like how smooth it goes in there and like progressively becomes smaller. It's got like a spike here. But yeah, like with the spike, it gets led into. You can see it's still got the black underbelly, and it like mixes in a little bit of tan and dark red. But on the most part, it's very smooth leading. Onto the main bit, these two are just exactly the same. There's a lot of exposed studs on this figure, which is a bit odd. But I do still think, you know, it's an amazing thing. Again, the black underbelly continues, and it's got like a smooth red top. Leaning into the final detail, this piece. They did actually use this piece in Rising Arin Stormjet, as well as the Dragonian Storm Village, but they don't really fit that well in them. This, I do think they fit really well. And it manages to blend it using this red piece, but this is just a really nice in this set, and again it's got like a bit of transparency to it.
Moving on to the torso, and compared to a regular dragon, he's very thin, which does make sense considering he has been imprisoned for several millennia, and he's not going to have had a meal, or at least a good one, for a long while.
But yeah, I think that's really well reflected there. I think a lot of people disliked that, but it does make sense. You can see the purple underbelly continues, yeah, and it does up here in a second. Predominantly red, little hints of black through it, but it is mainly red there. And I like the shape that they've managed to get here. Again, more exposed studding, which I don't understand. But yeah, the back is really well made as well, which I think just looks really nice. Okay, I can see here the underbelly again continues, and it's got this little bit of trans red, which is interesting. There's not much of that used, I think only for the blasters. But you can see how it fades into the neck here. Again, more red, and it's got a little bit of tan. It's got a little bit of tan here with like these claws coming off, and like this bit up here. Throughout it's very smooth looking. And then again, they've still got these little hints of purple around the neck. As you can see here, there's studs on his back, which if you were to choose to, you could have someone sit on his back. However, I don't feel like this guy is the kind of dragon that would want to be rode, but you know, for play feature, if you want, that's what you can do. They're a lot bigger than gyros, considering that they're different. I'll start with the hands. He has 3 fingers instead of the typical 5 for one that's built like this. Usually it'd be there instead of there. But it is quite small, the hand in general, and it's got like a little black bit there. But he's got like these red claws, which I think just look really cool. He is capable of holding a figure like that. It is a bit longer because it connects, and also has this piece here. But moving on to the arms, they are a bit thin, but they do have these 2 bulkier bits. Unfortunately it uses this SBCC or whatever joint, so it doesn't bend, which is a bit unfortunate, but it's got like these stickers with these purple details and like these tan spikes with this big one here. Again, more exposed studs, and then like a black underarm. Moving on to the big arm, it's got like these 2 tan spikes here, one smaller, one bigger, and more purple detailing. Moving on to the head, it's got a purple jaw. It is just solid, however I think this is the top jaw of one of the Arc Dragon heads. Very simple, can either have it an under or over bite, and you can, it's got a wide range of movement. Very simple piece-wise, and it's got this nice trans purple here, or pink, whichever, as well as these 2 red spike bits here. Onto the actual face print, it's really nice. It's got more of that print from before. almost like leopard print. And it's got like this crystally eyebrow hair, which goes over all of its eyes. That's right, eyes. He has 3 eyes on either side. He has 6 eyes total, which is insane. And he has this very nice sticker pieces on this piece around his neck here, which goes all the way around him, which looks very nice. It's got like this little chain here to show he has like broke it a bit. I really like the top here. It's got at least 2 gold pieces, which they used in black for like one of the swords in the wolf mask. And like this piece, which I think is a really cool piece in Nokt, but it's actually the exact same colour, like that whitey satin, as the swords. You can see here, like they're exactly the same. As you can see as well, because of the gold bits clashing with, you know, his general colour scheme, it could indicate, you know, it's foreign, it's not part of him, that's what's containing him. Yeah, they're like the same. They've got like the purple and red swirl here on both sides, which is very chaotic looking. And on the bottom here, there's like little bits of purple, but it's mainly like this transparent purple. And I love the way that it fades from like the heart of the storm into that like energy type stuff. They've got like these little spikes here, which I'll go into in a minute. Yeah, I can see it on the ends. It's got like these black spikes, and on the underwing, it's the underwing's exactly the same. It's still got the pattern, but you can see like the bonal structure, and it's got this stud launcher here, which can shoot them, and they don't shoot incredibly far. There's this little bit here, and what you do is you press it. As for this, it has a wide range of motion. Obviously it gets blocked here by the rest of the body, but it could move. As you can see here, it can move all the way back. As for the feet, each claw can move up and down. This one, not as much because it gets caught here. As for the legs, they've got a decent motion. They can't move back and forth, but side to side is definitely on the table, and it's quite a bit. If you want, these can also move forward. I'm sure there's ways to use that. As for the tail, this bit doesn't move, but these are on ball joints, so they can move up and down, left and right. It doesn't move too much left and right, but you know, just enough to get like dynamic poses off. As for the legs, it's on these joints, so you can move it up to about 90 degrees.
As for his articulation, even though this is one of those joints that many people dislike because it doesn't bend, myself included, the arms still have great articulation. As you can see here, the fingers can all move up and down, and the main 2 have a slight bit of room to move side to side. The wrist is on a ball joint, so it's able to move side to side, up and down, do a full 360, whatever you want. But it is a bit blocked by this chain here, which it does just dangle in place over the joints. Moving further up, the shoulder is on a ball joint as well, so it as well can move up and down, and it can also do a full 360.
So yeah, the articulation on the arms is good. As for the head, it's just the one ball joint, but it can do a full 360, move side to side a decent bit, as well as up and down. Its mouth's on a hinge, so that can open quite wide. And then this bit's removable, and then it can just dangle there if you want. As for the wing, it's on a ball joint too, so if you want, you can make the wing move up and down like that. You can have it move in and do a full 360 that way actually.
For these here, I just wanted to show you a couple of the dynamic poses I was able to get off. but there are so many more that you're able to do if you wish. If you have it, try and post it on Instagram and tag me at Nadebricks. First up, we have Lloyd. This is one of my favourite suits for him, and it's super different and detailed compared to his other suits. Out of the 4 sets that he's appeared in so far, this is one of the only 2 where he comes with the tournament shoulder pad, which I believe was first introduced with Evil J in the tournament wave last year. He has this gold armor underneath, which kind of looks like body armor, and it actually continues down on the legs here and the feet. I really like these suit designs. They look a lot more sleek and high tech compared to the more simpler suits throughout Dragons Rising, especially with the gold body armor underneath and on their shoes, along with these metal plating on their knees and shoulders. Taking off his shoulder pads, you can see this dragon on the back with a dashed side, and it matches his elemental power. On the back of his head, he has a ninja version that matches the dragon on his back, as well as his very fed up looking facial expression print. Here we have Nia, and though her colour scheme isn't my favourite one, it's definitely the best of the storm suits, and her colour scheme is really consistent and works really well in this suit. I like that the base is a gunmetal grey, and I also love the use of the dark azure throughout as a secondary highlighting colour. And they're just perfectly mixed on this suit, and I hope they continue it in the next ones. Again, just like Lloyd, Nia also has this gold throughout her suit, which works a lot better with her colours. The only real difference in these suits, apart from those colours, is that each ninja has their own symbol in the bottom corner here. But yeah, her armour is especially phenomenal, and I think the shoulder pad goes so well with her design. On her back, like Lloyd, she has this source dragon, and the design is very reminiscent of her water powers. And moving on, she has a ninja version on the back of her head, which has a matching design with her back. Here we have Sora, and honestly, this figure's getting a bit repetitive. The only unique figure we've had for her is the tournament one from last year, and apart from that, we've had her with a different hairpiece or a half mask with little variation compared to the others, who've all had several suits. Removing a shoulder piece, she has a regular face print, and on the back she has the same optional facial expression. Though, moving down, I do really love the little angry cat that she has on her back. At the very least, she got a new hood piece in the January wave, but it's back to the exact same figure from Season 1 with her hairpiece. Don't get me wrong, it is a nice suit, and I like the mix of her colours, a golden arm, and my main joy from Zane's older suits, which is the predominantly white colouring, but it just seems so repetitive and lazy to reuse the figure. Wildfire, at the very least, is using a Season 2 design this season, which is at least something. I love the character, but we just need more unique designs, otherwise there's a chance we'll end up with a Legacy Kai situation. Here we have the only technically new figure. I say that since his helmet is new, coming in this black rendition of his original one, which goes much better compared to the orangey one he had. But that's about it, since he did appear earlier in the January wave, but with a stormsuit helmet. His armor piece isn't new in black though, since Cole did have it in Season 1. His torso and legs are new, but they did appear in the January wave. I like that it's top heavy with the darker colours too, which I think kind of shows the conflict within him and the evil possibly slowly corrupting him. On his waist, you can see this black belt with a medallion dangling there with the NINJAGO symbol for A, which is probably for Arin. I like the change he's done to the dragon he has, which was just a light orange, which wasn't super visible, but it's a lot more so now with this bright pink version, which looks like he has spray painted on there with the little splotches. Removing a shoulder piece and headpiece, it's the same single-sided Arin face print we've had in all of his figures, which I think is a bit of a shame, especially since he's supposed to be in a sort of villain arc, but he still has a big smile, which is a shame. It'd be nice to get a different, more serious expression, like we did with Rogue. Looking on the back, you can see the dragon continues on through his back, and in NINJAGO on it, it spells out Arin. Here we have Tyr, who is meant to be the leader of the Dragonians, I believe. He comes with this big brutey sword, which has been often used in Ninjago. I believe it was most predominantly used by the Anaconda warriors in Season 4. He's meant to be a new character, but the only difference from a Dragonian warrior is these larger horns he has in the back of his head. Um, just like the warriors from the January wave, his face print is the same, and so is his armor piece. I think it would have been nice to have some more to him, to be more unique, but he is essentially just a regular Dragonian with longer horns, which is a bit lame, but that doesn't mean he's bad, since design-wise, the Dragonian warriors are one of the coolest factions we've ever seen, in my opinion, especially with the ability to take these little dragons off their backs. But taking their armor piece off, you can see the generic face print. I believe all Dragonians have this one, though. And on the back, just like the other Dragonian warriors, it has a fireball head print. It's a good figure, I just wish it was less generic for a leader, like the ones we saw in previous seasons. Here we have Nokt, who's the second member of the Forbidden Five to be released in minifigure form, and he's also the master of brute force. Though he did appear in the earlier January wave in Zane's Combiner mech, this is just a cheaper way to get him, being about £25 cheaper, which is really good since this is one of the show's main 5 villains. It's good that he comes in a slightly cheaper set. He comes with this long sword using the same Hilton Sand Green which was used throughout the Dragonian Storm Village, which I will have a video out soon for. He has such a cool design, which is so similar to Drix's, but it's also so different from him too. He has metallic blue, which compared to the very tame, darker colours in his scheme, it stands out really well. On his back, he has this symbol for the Forbidden Five in the same metallic blue, which is so cool. Drix has this too, and it kind of looks like a scorpion, I think. Here on the back of his head, he has these blue strips or shards, whatever you want to call them, which is a bit subtle on the dark blue base. And the front of his face has this very angry and serious expression, with the blue shard stuff continuing onto the front here. They also use the metallic blue on his scar on his eye here, which is really cool, along with using it in his mouth and on his eyes. I do think it'd be cool if they used his cape like he did in the show, but that could easily be added if you already own one. Overall, this is such an amazing set, being well priced, coming with 6 great figures, and coming with one of the best dragons as of late, which is also the big bad of Season 3. The play feature for this set is really fun and easy to use too, so I highly recommend this set, as personally, it's the best set from this season so far. As usual, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. These help support me and show my videos to you more often. But as always, thanks for watching, I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Bye.